Hey guys, it's Ginny Silver. We're doing California EDD live Q&A today, as usual, on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to get right into it real fast today because I am, for the most part, on time, which we all know is rare. And I come with a cough. All right, starting up at 4. I see Monique. Hi, Ginny. Question, my last payment was August 8th. I'm on PEUC now, so I'm certifying the 22nd Sunday. Will I get paid Monday, or will it be pending for weeks like I see other weeks pending? Okay, so your last payment was August 8th. Your PEUC, you're certifying Sunday. Okay, so I think you're referencing other claimants pending. Everyone is in a completely unique situation. So your situation is not going to necessarily be represented by anything else that you're seeing because the claims are so unique and all the problems that land people stuck in pending are very unique to each type of claim. Now, if you are PEUC, you could potentially go into pending if you've had a claim that is over 1 year old. Back in July, most claims that were over a year old, but not all, were stuck in pending for something called a new quarter wage review. So if you do see a pending certification, that could be a potential reason why they could be rolling out those wage review pending statuses later and not necessarily on that first new date of the quarter. But if you are stuck in pending, you're most likely going to need to contact either the EDD or your assembly member. There's a variety of reasons why it could be. Don't think that you're going to be pending just because other people are. Check and see if it is, and if it's pending for over 48 hours, then contact the EDD or contact your assembly member. And information on how to do that is available in the video description, and Michael can drop it in the chat box. All right, hi, Little Rambo. Michael says at 4 o'clock, want to see how you're doing this week. Want to see how the wedding, thank you. Wedding was good. I was working with some of my friends in the industry, so that was good, but it was, there was some complications with timeline details, etc. So things ran really, really late, which was way beyond my control, but I got them back on track, so we're okay. But yeah, it was good. I have more coming up. Ira White at 4 o'clock. I've been pending since March. I'm waiting on my email and phone interview. Do you know how long it can take? So the phone interviews can take anywhere from 6 weeks up to 16, sometimes even a little longer weeks in order to be scheduled. Now, while you are waiting for that phone interview to occur, the EDD now is issuing what's called conditional payments. A conditional payment is when your claim is stuck in pending, awaiting something like a phone interview or other reason for pending, and the EDD has paid you out at least one time on your claim before, and you've been pending for over 2 weeks. If that's all true for you, then you'll be issued conditional payments, which means that the EDD will pay you while they wait to schedule your interview and collect that information. But they have until September 30th in order to do that. So you are going to either wait until up to September 30th to receive those conditional payments. There's no way of knowing exactly when it's going to occur, or you can contact the EDD customer service using Claimer, using the 134 trick, all the links that Michael has dropped in the chat box, or contact your assembly member. All right. Hi, Jose. How safe are we giving our information to strangers that just got hired? What strangers? What strangers? Strangers on YouTube? Never give your information to strangers on YouTube. Anyone that contacts you saying that they're me, they're not me. I'm not contacting you guys directly. If it's someone in the EDD who just got hired, that's their job. There are always going to be risks with any employee handling sensitive information, but these are government employees. They have to have your information in order to access your claim. So if you can't give them your information, they won't be able to help you with your claim. So if you're talking about assembly members, because a lot of people were concerned because the assembly members were asking for social security number, customer account number, etc. Again, they're government representatives. They need that information in order to work with the EDD on your behalf. So I would give it to them if you want them to help you with your claim. But with that being said, make sure that you are aware of the ways in which the EDD and other government organizations will be actually contacting you so that you don't open yourself up to scammers. The EDD will contact you through a phone interview, phone call, and the phone number should say State of California EDD on it, or the EDD's phone number, although sometimes it doesn't, and that's a problem. If you receive text messages asking for your login information, for your social security number, anything like that, do not give it away. If you receive a text message asking you to log in to your Bank of America EDD debit card, don't give that away. There's a lot of scammers going on right now. All right, let me just check this real quick. Okay, it's okay, Michael, no problem. All right. Did that one. Monique, you're very welcome. Okay. Let's see. Lynn, you're very welcome for the chat. Mike D, hi Ginny, I already did my 1 year in July. I got an award with a claim balance and my weekly amount did change. Do I get another 26 weeks? Okay, so if you received an award, claim balance, your weekly amount didn't change. So yes, if you reached the end of 1 year's worth of benefits and you had to file a new claim because you worked and earned income in the last 18 months, and then you were awarded a new claim, that new unemployment claim, as long as it's actually a brand new claim, would have a duration of 26 weeks worth of new benefits. Regular UI, unemployment, 26 weeks, does not expire with the September 4th end date. Why? Because those are the regular state unemployment benefits. Those are going to continue on as usual. So if you were awarded a brand new claim, yes, you will be able to continue to collect. All right. Let's see. I messed up my stream. Where did it go? Okay. Debbie, no, that was incorrect. That was a mistake. But hi, Debbie. All right, Jennifer Boyle, furloughed from job 320, didn't apply for UI till 420 since employer paid full wages, then down to partial pay, which I reported. Do earnings count for a new claim for the last 18 months? UI, okay. So if they paid you wages and now you're down to partial pay and you reported that, yes. Within the last 18 months, if you earned $1,400 or more, then you may qualify to receive a brand new unemployment claim. You can file a new claim once you reach the end of your benefit year, 12 months after your claim start date. So for many of you that are currently collecting either a PEUC extension or a Fed Ed extension, you may have already reached your 1 year of having benefits. So when we reach September 4th, or if you're on Fed Ed, September 11th, and those benefits end on those extensions, you will need to file a new claim. If you earned $1,400 or more in regular unemployment, in regular wages, they aren't unemployment wages if you worked, if $1,400 in regular wages, then you may qualify for a new claim. So yes, you will reapply. Okay, Lynn at 402. What is the last date to file a new UI claim? Okay, there is no last date. UI is the state's regular unemployment benefits program. It's always available. So regular UI for those who are W-2 employees is going to continue on as usual. You can file a new UI claim if you have worked and earned at least $1,400 of income within the last 18 months. Okay. Liz Garcia at 402. My end of year was on 6/21. I reapplied, been pending for 6 weeks. I called and was told to wait for an interview, but I got paid for 1 week, 6/26, and got a message about conditional payment. Are they going to pay me? So if you received a message about conditional payment, then it sounds like you qualify for conditional payments. Now, you reapplied and you've been pending for 6 weeks. It depends on why those weeks are pending. Are those weeks pending because they were certified for on an old expired claim? If so, then they're not going to be paid out with a conditional payment. They're going to move from pending to not paid. Why? Because they're expired. You're going to have to file a new claim. Now, if you filed a new claim, were approved for a new claim and awarded a new claim, and that's what's pending, those also aren't going to be paid out with a conditional payment. Why? Because in order to receive a conditional payment, you have to have at least one unemployment payment on that claim previously. A brand new claim would not qualify. But if you're pending for another reason, then that's when you would receive those conditional payments. You must be pending for 2 weeks or longer and have received a payout on that claim before. Hi, Toya. You're welcome, Lynn. All right, Ron Thorne at 404. Question. I don't have a 1099. I have been getting paid for PUA, the minimum, and they want me to send documents by the 3rd. I don't have any documents to prove my work. What can I do? Did you claim self-employment income in any amount? Did you write it on your application? Like, actually tell me in the chat and I'll check. Did you claim a dollar amount, or did you say that you didn't earn anything and maybe you had a promise to start a job that didn't come to fruition, or one of the other qualifying reasons? If you had income and you applied for PUA, they're going to want to see documentation of that income. You can't necessarily qualify for government benefits if you didn't pay taxes on those benefits in the first place. So they're going to want to see not your 1099s, but they want to see your Schedule C from your income taxes. So Schedule C is where you would claim that self-employment income, and it shows your net income on there. That's what they want to see. So you say, let's say you said you did say that you had a promise to make a job, to get a job. Okay, and you did not claim income. Good. So, okay, that's great. So you didn't submit a false statement. You didn't say that you had income when you didn't. And you also didn't claim income that you didn't file a tax return on. So you're good. So when they ask for proof of income, you didn't have any. You had a promise. So you're going to reply to them. However they request that information, just type it up. Write a note stating that you did not have any income, but you had a promise to start a job. Provide documentation of that promise to start a job, and that should qualify you. All right, Kyler Garcia at 404. My claim says reopen claim, and every time I try to call, like your old video says, but it just keeps saying we're experiencing too many calls. The reopen claim is still here. And this is like, I probably need to bring this up to the media department again, because I haven't pushed this issue in quite a while because there's been so many other issues. But reopen claim is a problem. It's going to continue to pop up. Even if you click it and you fill out the information, it's going to delay your certifications by about 2 weeks, and then it's going to continue to come back. So the best thing still is, if you see reopen claim, to contact customer service, but you can't get through. So Michael's going to drop all the call tips. You can use the 134 trick to get through. That still helps a lot of people to get through. Not all, though, are reporting success with it. Claimer works if that's a fit for you. If not, then you can use the 25 phone numbers to call EDD, or you can contact your assembly member, and you can try that as well. All right, Adriana at 405. The last day of EDD will be 11. Can we reapply? I think you mean reapply on next day. If not, when? I worked till April this year. Made a total of $23, I think that's supposed to be $1,000. Do I qualify? Again, I am current out of work and got positive COVID 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry you got sick. I hope you're doing all right. So the last day of EDD isn't the 11th. Let me give a clear statement here. EDD is the organization that manages the statewide unemployment benefits. Unemployment benefits continue on for regular W-2 workers with regular unemployment claims. What ends claim week ending September 4th is PUA, PEUC, $300 boost, MEUC boost. That ends claim week ending September 4th. What ends September 11th is the Fed Ed extension. What continues on is regular unemployment benefits. So if your PEUC extension or Fed Ed ends and you earned income, which you said that you did, and it is actually employee income, not self-employment income, then you would file a new claim when you reach the end of 1 year's worth of benefits. So whether that is in the future or if it has already happened, is going to dictate when you will reapply. If your 1 year is already over, but you're currently collecting on a PEUC extension or a Fed Ed extension, you're going to file the date that that extension ends, so September 4th or September 11th, depending on which extension. If your year has not yet ended, you have to wait until that benefit year ends, and then you would file a new claim. All right, Wyatt at 406. Last payment was received on 8/2 of my regular UI claim. Still haven't gotten a PEUC extension and can't get through to get answers. Any idea if they're just behind on issuing those? Okay, so if you didn't get an extension and the last thing you received was a few weeks ago, it usually takes about 2 weeks for the PEUC extensions to be applied to claims. So about a week after you hit a $0 balance, you receive an award letter. And then about a week after that, you would then have the ability to certify and have the claim balance come through. If it's been over 2 weeks, then contact the EDD. You can use the call tips that Michael's dropping in the chat box, or you can contact your assembly member if you can't get through. All right, let me make sure things are going on. All right, beautiful day, 406. Is there any way of knowing if any payments are considered conditional? I haven't seen whether or not they are marked in the system. I haven't actually asked someone to show me their transaction history for that. So for those of you that have received a conditional payment, let us know in the chat if it was marked in any way as being conditional. What has been happening is that people have received a notice letting them know that they're going to be eligible for conditional payments, and then their pending moves to paid. So that kind of tells you that they are conditional. But I'm interested to hear in the chat if you are seeing actually them noted in transaction history in UI Online as being conditional. All right, highest capo at 406. Can I apply for PUA now? This is literally just the video that I published 30 minutes ago. So I just put out a video on that. So you can go watch that video. Yes, you can still apply for PUA now. You have until October 6th, 30 days after PUA ends, to actually apply for the program as long as you are claiming weeks prior to September 4th. They say that you have 30 days after. That leads me to believe that they must then be okay backdating 30 days after as well, because you can't apply if it's not going to be backdated for a program that's already ended. So technically, you should be able to backdate it as early as 12/6. But if you haven't applied, I want you to do it right away. There's going to be a rush of people trying to get those last-minute applications in. There's going to be a big delay. And I don't want you to have problems with your backdating request. So go watch that video. I show you how to backdate it. But yes, you will need to apply. Will you be affected by the September 4th end date? Yes, it's going to end September 4th. So you can't collect PUA for weeks beyond September 4th, but you can backdate your claim and collect old weeks that already occurred. Okay, any plans to extend pandemic unemployment benefits? Currently, no. There is currently nothing proposed or moving. You're very welcome. But if something changes, then I will, of course, be one of the first to let you know. All right. John, finally got paid and the child tax check. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome. I'm glad to hear that came through. All right, Robert at 407. Do you think my pending payment will get paid? Since it's about to be 2 weeks, it went back into pending. So if you went back into pending, so maybe like you were pending, you got that pending pushed to paid, and now new ones are pending, I think might be what you're saying, and they've been pending for 2 weeks. Yes, so as long as you've received one or more unemployment payouts on your claim and you've been pending for over 2 weeks, those pending certifications would receive conditional payments. But it can take up until September 30th to apply these conditional payments. So it can happen anytime between now and September 30th. And you can call EDD or your assembly member to speed up that process in applying those conditional payments if you don't want to wait till September. Okay, Oscar at 408. Hi, Ginny. I'm under Tier 2 PEUC. What is the likelihood that I qualify for California training benefits? How do I approach this? If you're on PEUC, you don't qualify. You have to be before week 16 of your unemployment benefits. So that means, however, that once you file a new unemployment claim, when you reach the end of your benefit year, if you qualify because you worked and earned income in the last 18 months, then you would need to file a new claim. So file a new claim, and then before you hit week 16, you have to apply for the California training extension. And you will need to contact customer service in order to do that. There's not a clear link on how to apply for that. Okay, Ruben has been on hold for 4 hours and 21 minutes. I'm really sorry, Ruben. That's not good. All right, Steve. Is there any benefits for new applicants? I meant for those applying today. I asked to get more information about it. Thanks for helping me. Yes, you're very welcome. Any benefits for new applicants? So if you're a PUA claimant, watch the video that I just posted. PUA can apply as late as October 6th for benefits before claim week ending September 4th. So you can't collect anything after September 4th as a PUA claimant, but you can still submit your application within 30 days of the program ending and backdate your claim. So that is a possibility for you. So if you did not do that yet, get it in really fast, because there's going to be a big delay of claimants rushing to get those applications in. All right. So you don't have to be a member to see the live stream. Thank you for becoming a member. You don't have to pay to see the video. It's available to everyone. But if you do join as a member, which thank you for doing that, I post a weekly Q&A private thread in my members only chat. So that's the benefit of being a member. Okay, Robert, I already got that one. Alex 409, is the EDD website still down? It wasn't down for me when I was accessing it earlier to create videos. So I can't tell you if it is still having issues on your end. If you can't access the page to certify, a good trick that works for most is go into your email, like your personal email, not your UI online, because you can't get there if it's down. Go into your personal email and search for an old email from the EDD. In that old email, there's going to be a blue hyperlink to your UI online or to certify. Click that link, and most report that if the website is malfunctioning, that link will still take them to their certification page. So try doing that and see if that works for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. How soon will my backdating be approved at 409? It varies, and there's no set time frame for them approving it. It can be anywhere from a week to a couple months. It depends on how quickly they process you. All right. Sahar at 412. What happens when PUA ends completely? It ends. There's nothing beyond that. The program will end. So currently it's set to end claim week ending September 4th, unless something is proposed, passed, and signed into law in Congress, which currently we do not have anything moving in there. You guys, there's so many clickbait channels that are still reporting on stimulus topics, and they're calling the infrastructure updates and bills, etc. They're calling that stimulus. So I want you to take a minute and kind of reevaluate who you're following on YouTube to make sure that you're not being led down false rabbit holes. Rabbit holes? What's a rabbit hole? Because I'm still seeing just terrible clickbait that's misleading you guys. And I want you to be prepared for the programs to end. Yes, there is a possibility that they could be extended. But right now, I want you guys to try to set yourself up in the best possible scenario for them ending. So I'm trying to generate more content for you guys about resources that are available. I just put out a big video yesterday. Well, it's a short video, but lots of resources were jammed into it. Going through all of many of the available government programs aside from unemployment benefits to make sure that you're maximizing everything. I'm trying to put out more content on unique opportunities to be self-employed, etc., things like that. So try the best you can to get yourself set up and ready for that, even though I know that it's a very bad situation for many of you. All right, Debbie. Should you announce the big increase in EBT food stamps? So I'm not knowledgeable in that. That's not something that I'm keeping up with. So no, I'm not going to be covering all of the developments in that because that's not necessarily something that I'm focusing on because it takes so much time to research each individual program. But thank you for sharing that. Robert, I got paid because of conditional payments, but I'm pending again after 2 weeks. Robert, I already answered that. You're very welcome. Eric, are we going to be able to certify on September 5th? Yes. So claim week ending September 4th is the last payable week for PEUC, PUA, $300 boost, MEUC boost. So if you certify on September 5th, or if you're on a different certification cycle and you certify the next week, you will certify for claim week ending September 4th, and then you'll be paid for that week. Andrew T, does anyone know we'll be receiving? So I just went over that. So hopefully you heard that answer. All right, Sahar. Can people still get overpayment notices once PUA program ends completely? This is a good question. Yes, you can get an overpayment notice. Oh, I'm going to say it, but it could be longer than this. Am I remembering this accurately? I don't know. This is one thing that I'm not sure if I'm remembering accurately. 3 years, I think, is their statute of limitations on issuing overpayment notices. Watch my Zoom Q&A with Pershing Square Law where I talk about overpayments. He gives that date there, but I think it's 3 years. So you can still receive an overpayment notice, yes, even after the program ends. Okay, all right, let's see. ET, thank you very much. I called my assembly member and have an appointment tomorrow at 9. Okay, good. I'm really glad that you are hopefully going to get some help with that. I hope they can fix whatever your problem is. Okay, Jenna at 417. Can you backdate more than once? Yes, you can. As long as you're eligible for it. So I haven't collected unemployment benefits in a long time, but I did initially back in April when it first started. And I backdated my own claim twice. I backdated it once with kind of a false date because I felt greedy doing it. And then I decided that I was entitled to it and I might as well do it. So I re-backdated it. And that was successful. It didn't cause any problems for me. All right. Let's see, 417. So if I haven't been to work in 2 months and I never answer no to work, it denies me. No to work. Are you looking for, so I think I'm not sure which question you're talking about. You have to answer, did you work or earn any income? If you selected no, and you're stuck in pending or not paid, it's not due to that reason. It would be due to a number of other various stop payment alerts that could get you stuck in pending. Now, if it asks, are you looking for work? You have to select yes. Yes, you're looking for work. If you selected no to are you looking for work, then that would be why you are pending. Regardless of why you're pending, you can call EDD and use all the call tips that Michael can drop in the chat box or contact your assembly member. You're very welcome, Jenna. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, you guys, as a reminder, I can't get all the questions. I do have to skip around. So if I don't answer your question, re-ask it every 15 minutes, please. I do the very best I can to get as many as I can. All right, 418. What's the best way to answer if you've looked for work? So if you've looked for work, if you are Fed Ed, you're required to perform 3 work search activities per week or more, and you have to log them in the certification page. So make sure you do that if you're Fed Ed. If you're UI, PEUC, or PUA, you are required to perform 1 or more work search activities per week, and logging them in the certification page is not required. So those are your activities that you should be doing. Okay, Angel at 419. Will there be an extension for PUA? I have 16,800 left. I'm still waiting to get back pay. There's currently not anything proposed to extend PUA. Could there be? There potentially could be, but right now there's nothing moving in Congress that would have to be proposed, signed into law, proposed, passed, signed into law. So right now there's nothing. So PUA is set to expire claim week ending September 4th, regardless of balance. Now, if you have an application in to backdate your PUA claim and you already have submitted that, once September 4th comes, because you've already submitted that backdate request, they should still be able to backdate your claim and issue you that back pay if it is approved. All right. Hi, Scotty. All right. Cami at 419. I'm Fed Ed. July showed me pending. I still have weeks. I certified and it doesn't show pending any longer. No payments or info yet. Can't reach EDD. Am I a part of conditional payments? Okay. You certify, it depends. You have to have received one unemployment payout on your current claim previously and pending for over 2 weeks. So if you satisfy both of those, then you are eligible to receive conditional payments. Now, the EDD, according to the Class Action Settlement Agreement, has until September 30th to pay out conditional payments. Why isn't the EDD sharing that date? I can't tell you, but the attorney responsible for this sent me the settlement document, and that's the date. So they can still take up until September 30th to push those pending claimants who are eligible for conditional pay over to paid. So if you are pending and you don't want to wait till September 30th, then contact your assembly member or use the call tips that Michael is dropping in order to call in. Okay, let's see. Relax. You changed it to relax at the disco now. It used to be, what was it? Captain Dust. 425. You're a wizard. Thank you. All right. Million Michael, 425. My balance is 0. It's not allowing me to certify for about a month now. I contacted EDD, my assembly in my area, and they are not helping me with the issue. Okay. Your balance is 0 and won't let you certify for a month. Have you reached the end of your benefit year? Look in your claim start date. Count 12 months out if you're UI, PEUC, or Fed Ed. Are you beyond a year? If yes, then you need to file a new claim if you worked and earned income within the last 18 months. That could be why you weren't awarded an extension, so check that to make sure. If that is not the case and you are still not receiving help from your assembly member and the EDD, I would continue to try to contact the EDD. And how did you contact your assembly member? If you called them, then email them. If you emailed them, then call them. Try to push to get help there without being aggressive to them, because then they won't want to help you. Beyond that, if you can't get help through EDD, your assembly member will not assist you. Lorena Gonzalez's office has been extremely helpful to claimants that don't have an assembly member assigned to their district or who can't get any help. So I don't have her direct contact information right now, and I can't promise you that she'll help you, but for many of my subscribers, they've been reporting back to me that they help them in her office regardless of their district. So look up on Twitter, Lorena Gonzalez, and you'll be able to see her office contact info from there. All right. Okay. Sage at 427. I need to scroll up a bit. Somehow I got ahead. As for, okay. Wait. I'm not sure what this is referring to, but I will. Thank you for sharing. All right. I already did that one. Let me scroll up. Is PUA and PUI the same? PUI, what is PUI? There's no PUI. There is UI, which is unemployment insurance, regular benefits for W-2 earners. PUA, which is pandemic unemployment assistance, which is for those who would not traditionally qualify to receive UI, such as self-employed or people who had a promise to start a job which was canceled due to a pandemic-related reason, etc. There's PEUC, which is an extension of UI. There's MEUC, which is a boost for mixed earners. And there's FPUC, which is the $300 boost. And there's Fed Ed. Okay. No, I do not take personal questions. Hi, David Michael. All right, Radnisha at 4:25. I'm still pending. I certified for the first time on the 15th. I got to upload my 2019 document, and I got a phone interview on the 29th. I'm self-employed realtor. What questions should I be aware? Okay, so if you're pending, you certified for the first time. If you're certifying for the first time on the 15th, you are going to be waiting for them to approve your initial UISD review for up to 3 weeks. You have a phone interview on the 25th. They're just going to basically ask you all the questions that you already answered on your application. They're going to ask you about your income, why you lost work, when you lost work, etc. Are you available for full-time work? They want to hear you say yes. And are you able to accept full-time work, etc. So it's going to be pretty simple, but you need to make sure that you are a bit available and willing to accept full-time work if offered. All right, Sage, 7 weeks unpaid. I'm really sorry to hear that. Contact your assembly member. They might be able to help you. They've been very helpful to many people in getting them pushed from pending to paid. Okay. All right. 428. What are the odds of false misconduct claim deter, still get released payments for conditional pay? I'm not sure what you mean. So maybe your termination reason that your employer submitted was misconduct, and that was a false statement from them. Is that maybe what you're trying to say? If so, if you're pending and you've received one payout before, you're pending for over 2 weeks, then you would qualify for conditional payments. But you might have to pay them back if your appeal of their reason why you were unemployed is not one in your favor. So not knowing all the details of that, you might have to go through an appeals process, possibly, if that is in fact the problem. If your employer stated that you were terminated due to misconduct, then you wouldn't be eligible to collect unemployment benefits. So you may need to go through an appeals process, prove that that was a false statement. Otherwise, you would have to pay that conditional payment back. All right, let's see. Ms. Lizzie Darcy at 428. Hello, I've been pending for almost a month now. I've reached out to my assembly person. They found out I need a phone appointment. But they say I have to wait until the EDD sets that up. It's been almost 2 weeks since finding out. Okay, yes, so phone interviews take up to 18, on average, like 6 to 16 weeks to schedule. They take a very long time. But what we have now is something called conditional payments, which means that the EDD is required, according to a class action settlement, to push pending payments over to paid while you wait for that phone interview. Now, as long as you have been waiting with a pending status for over 2 weeks and you have received a payment on your unemployment claim previously, so it's not a new claim, then you would be entitled to receive a conditional payment, which means that they'll pay you while you wait. So you need to wait up until September 30th for them to apply those conditional payments. If you aren't able to wait that long, because that's a long time, and there's no way to know like when within that time frame they're going to apply them, then contact your assembly member or call EDD using the call tricks that Michael can drop. You're very welcome, Eric. I'm glad to hear that. Why didn't you answer my questions? Sam, I have so many of them in here, and I try to do as many as I can, but I have to skip around through them. Unfortunately, this is what I see from you. So please ask it down below again every 15 minutes, and I'll get as many as I can. Top Star General. Also, Sam, I notice here that you're a channel member. Sam, after this live, in my community tab, I'm going to post a members only Q&A thread. So if for some reason I still don't get to your question later on, you'll get it personally answered from me in that thread after this live. So go to my community tab, look for that later today if I don't happen to get your question. All right, I already did that one. 429. I received the per amenda DE4, whatever email for backdate. Is them certifications going to be on my next file date? Okay, so I think what you're trying to say is You were approved for your backdating, and are they going to be on your next? Okay, yes. So there's no way to tell exactly when they're going to push those certifications through to your UI Online and have you be able to certify for them. Hopefully they come through soon if you already received the notice. But unfortunately with backdating, there is no set time frame for when they will actually give you those certifications. So if it's longer than 2 weeks, then you can start contacting the EDD. But I can't say exactly the time frame. Jenna, you're very welcome. All right. Where do I find my EDD ID? Okay, so that's going to be your customer account number. It's on documentation that the EDD mails out to you. So if you have your award letter, if you have other statements that they've sent you, your customer account number is listed there. If you want to obtain it yourself and you don't have those documents, go to EDD's regular website, not UI Online, but the main edd.ca.gov page, and then you are going to create an SDI account. Not an unemployment account, but on the other side, it's SDI account. You're not applying for that program, you're just making the account. At the end of that process, it gives you your customer account number. It has the same customer account number as your EDD account, so you can obtain that yourself. All right. Did that one. All right, Andy at 431. Please help. EDD refuses to give me benefits. I keep calling them and giving me excuses. They said I have to re-upload my ID verification documents. I did. Okay. ID verification, they're very specific about. They're going to need you to submit the documentation that they request. If you have sent it all over and it's exactly how they want it, the documents are clear, they're not expired, they show everything that you need, then next I would contact your assembly member and try to get them to work with the EDD on your behalf. The assembly members have staff members in their offices specifically there to help with these EDD issues and act as a liaison between you and the EDD. So contact your assembly member, and Michael can drop the link to show you exactly how you can search for them and contact them. Okay. Let's see. Christopher at 430 something. Could the president extend benefits through executive order, or does it have to go through Congress? Okay, so the thing about the executive orders, they can be challenged by Congress. And there's a whole complicated process with that. So maybe I'll do a video on that because that's not quite an explanation that I can get into here. So the answer is kind of, yeah, I think I'll do a video on that. That's a good question. All right, I received the I already did that one. I live in the Bay Area. I turned down work in Reno that I normally accept because of underlying conditions and the 19% positivity rate there. Will EDD understand in light of super contagious Delta strain? So if you turn down work because it's unsafe working conditions, then make sure that you have that documented. Make sure that you have some sort of reason statement why, precautions that they're not taking there, etc. Yes, as long as it's a COVID-related reason, then it is technically okay, but it might get you stuck in pending, and you might be required to do a phone interview in order to get things back up and running. While you're waiting for that phone interview, though, you would be eligible to receive conditional payments, which means that by September 30th, they would be able to issue you those payments if you're stuck in pending for over 2 weeks. All right. I already did that one. Sorry, guys. I got a letter from EDD saying, so to look for a job, I am with COVID now. What should we do with all this pressure from EDD? Well, all you need to do in order to comply with the work search requirements for UI or PEUC is you just have to pull up a job search board scroll through it and look for potential jobs. Screenshot what you find, and you've satisfied your job search requirements. So that's not going to take that long. They're not asking you to go and interview while you're sick with COVID or even necessarily to apply. Updating your resume, if you're just reformatting something in your resume, creating a CalJobs account, looking at job boards, networking, telling people that you're looking for work, etc., are all approved actions. So comply with the work search requirements, but some of them can be done very minimally. And I'm sorry you're sick, and I hope you're doing all right. All right. For PUA, how many times are we required to do work search? Work searches, Fed Ed is 3 work searches or more per week, and you're required to submit it in the certifications. UI, PEUC, PUA are 1 work search or more per week, and submitting it in the certifications is not required. All right. Let's see. 438. Thank you so much, Ginny. My assembly member was able to clear a month of pending payments in 48 hours. It was insanely fast, and all thanks to your chant. You're very welcome. I'm really glad to hear that. All right. Epidemic Media at 438. If I reopen my claim, how come it popped back up in my portal? This happens. The reopen claim button. If you didn't certify for the last 30 days, then that's when you should click the reopen claim button, because you do need to reopen your claim because it went dormant. But if you have been certifying regularly and it hasn't been 30 days, the reopen claim button is a glitch. It comes, and if you click on it, then it will come back again and again. So if it's not supposed to be there, you need to call EDD customer service and tell the rep, and they need to remove it. And then that should give you the ability to certify if you haven't been able to certify because of it. If you can't get through, use all the call tips that Michael can drop. You can use Claimer, you can use the 134 trick, etc., or you can contact your assembly member. But the fastest way to fix it is, unfortunately, with this issue, getting through to customer service. All right. Let's see. What time is this? 4:38. I did contact assembly member as suggested, and it worked. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm really glad to hear that. Michael can drop that link if he hasn't done so in a little while. All right. Alex at 4:38. I keep verifying for benefits on UI Online, and the last time I got money posted was on 6/28. I called and they said my account is under review. What could I do to solve the issue? Okay, so if you're stuck in pending because your account is under review, you're going to contact either contact the EDD. I'm not sure why they're reviewing you. If you called in, because you did call. If you called in and it was a new quarter wage review, then they would have fixed it on the spot over the phone. So it sounds like maybe they need to verify some sort of information either over a phone interview, etc. In that case, you would qualify for a conditional payment, which means to have your pending pushed to paid automatically sometime before September 30th. If you've received one payout on your claim before, which you have, and you've been pending for over 2 weeks. To push that through faster, you've already called EDD. So next I would call your assembly member. All right. Big Lewis at 4:38. Hi, Ginny. I'm PUA, self-employed, and resume work. When certifying on the gross earnings, you deduct your expenses, and that is your gross you have to write. So PUA is classified based on net earnings. So gross is the total amount of income that you take in, and then net would be your amount of income minus your deductions, your expenses, taxes, etc. So what you are going to claim is going to be net income for PUA. For PUA, the application, certifications, everything is based on net. It's different for W-2 earnings. I think that answers it. Yes. So if you, for example, your self-employment is you sell some sort of thing in your online shop, then you are going to take the total amount that you earned that week and then minus your products, your expenses, your overhead costs of doing business, etc. And then that is what you claim in your certifications. And there is an EDD video on certifying on EDD's wonderful YouTube page that shows that they want net for self-employment. So if you want to verify it, you can see that. All right. I did that one. 4:38. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure it's quite boring for many of you as you're waiting for me to hopefully get to your questions. All right, Louisa at 4:39. They stopped paying me in November. Haven't certified, but I'm on Fed Ed. They send me an amended notice. Okay, so they stopped paying you in November. That was a long time ago. You're on Fed Ed. Amended. What does the amended notice say? I don't know what it says. So I can't really help you. But regardless, if you haven't been paid since November, contact your assembly member. First, make sure you don't have to file a new claim. You would have to file a new claim if your UI, PEUC, or Fed Ed reached the end of 12 months worth of benefits after your claim start date, and you did work within the last 18 months. If you didn't file a new claim and that's you, then that's why you're not being paid. But for all other reasons, I would contact your assembly member in hopes of, of getting paid. Because that's quite a long time. All right, Daniel Infante at 4:39. I filed a new unemployment claim. I only worked for 2 weeks out of last year. The rest of the time I was drawing unemployment. Do you think they'll deny me due to not earning enough wages? There's a calculator that you can use. Maybe Michael can look it up. Michael, if you just search for EDD calculator, you'll find it. Where you can type in exactly what you earned and when, it will tell you if you qualify. If it allowed you to proceed in filing a new claim, then that technically should mean that you were approved. The EDD stated that the system will block you from filing a new claim if you're not going to be approved. I don't know if I trust that necessarily, but that's what they say. Now, in order to qualify for a new claim, you would need roughly $1,400 within the last 18 months of W-2 earnings. All right, Zach White, 4:39. Is there any way to contact EDD at all right now? I've tried thousands of times. It keeps saying that no one is available. Yes, Michael is dropping in the chat box the 134 phone trick that you can try. It works for some. The 25 phone numbers to call EDD, you can try those. Claimer works, but you have to pay for it. But my link gives you a $5 discount. Or contact your assembly member. Don't skip that one. That one works for a lot of people. Your assembly member can talk to the EDD on your behalf. They have an appointment with their EDD liaison weekly, and they're able to get people pushed from pending to paid. I feel like my hand gestures are out of control today. All right, I did that. Peter at 4:40. I was wondering if I'm an old claim. My old claim expired, but had one old claim that I did, but got approved for a new claim, been pending for 10 weeks. Am I on a old claim? Peter, hold on. If you expired your claim, you would then have filed a new claim. It says you got approved, but you've been pending for 10 weeks. That could mean one of two things. Either it could mean that your pending certifications are on your old claim. You're going to need to go into UI Online, look in your transaction history, and look at the dates for those certifications and see which claim you're on. I can't tell you when you started your new claim versus your old claim. So you're going to have to go in there, look at the date you're awarded your new claim by checking your inbox messages, and then look at the date for the certifications. Now, if those are on an old claim, those pending are not going to move to paid. They're going to move to not paid. Why? Because the claim was expired. In order to get paid for those, you're going to need to backdate your current claim. You can go to askedd.edd.ca.gov and request the backdate there, or call customer service. If they're pending on a new claim, it shouldn't be pending for 10 weeks on a new claim. New claims are usually pending for the first up to 3 weeks while they're in what's called UISD review when they look at the claim for additional fraud protections. Now, if you've been pending for 10 weeks on a brand new claim, then I would right away contact EDD, either by using the call tips in the chat box or contact your assembly member. I'm going to drink some of this. All right, scrolling down. All right, Donna. Donna at 4:42. Collected UI from 7:20 to 12:20. When I had a fraud charge, I stopped payment and got new card. I went pending on 12/20. After that, nothing. I tried calling. Okay, contact your assembly member. Now, if you had a fraudulent charge on your card, Bank of America and EDD don't communicate well on this. They don't agree on how to solve the problems, and they end up going in circles. There's recent, preliminary injunction, which is basically like the court case is in progress while the court case against Bank of America and these issues with fraudulent card freezings is underway. The preliminary injunction states that they can't just freeze your card with no notice. They have to notify you, and they have to follow a certain procedure. I outline that procedure in a detailed video that you can find on my channel homepage. Now, with that being said, you've been pending since 12/20. That is a long time. Contact your assembly member right away. Michael can drop the link on how to locate them, and they will be able to help you with the EDD issues. So make sure that you contact them for that. All right, MK at 4:42. When should I get my 17 weeks pending payments? Okay, so if you're pending, you've received one or more unemployment payouts on your claim, and you're pending for over 2 weeks, which 17 is definitely over 2, then you have up until September 30th for the EDD to apply those pending payments and issue you a conditional payment. September 30th. That's the date defined in the class action settlement agreement. If you don't want to wait that long, which most likely you don't, then contact your assembly member, and in most cases, they're able to push them through faster for you. All right, Billy Bob at 4:43. I read somewhere that if the EDD runs out of money, the people who are owed back pay will not receive it. No, you will receive anything that you are entitled to, as long as you are eligible, and file it within the proper dates. Okay. What's the 134 trick? Michael can share that with you in the chat box, the link to the video. Relax the disco. Does being on UI affect one's credit score? That's an interesting question. No, it does not. UI isn't, they're not pulling a credit report on you. They're not doing anything with your credit. So no, it does not affect your credit score. Okay. And I skipped too far. That's just Michael. I love podcasts. Any word on benefits extensions? There are no new developments with that. There's currently nothing proposed in Congress to extend unemployment benefits. Deanna at 4:52. What is the best time to call or day? Cannot get through. The best time and day, Monday and Tuesday, are the worst. Don't call on Monday or Tuesday if you're trying to call in yourself. Thursday, Friday are the best days to call into the main phone line. People taper off. And when I Zoomed with Claimer's CEO, he showed me their data. Those days have significantly less. And he also recommended that based on their dialers, he said, don't use Claimer on Thursday and Friday. Just call in yourself because they have significantly lower traffic those days. Best times, some people like calling right when they open at 8 or at 8:01. And some people still experience success getting through later in the day, like after 2 or 3 p.m. But the risk there with calling in later in the day is that we have extremely long hold lines. If you have to be transferred to a tier 2 representative, you can be on hold for anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours. So if you call in the afternoon, you might get through, but you also might get disconnected after holding for hours. So I used to recommend calling later in the day, but due to how long the hold lines are and that they disconnect you, I would call earlier in the morning when they open. Now, with that being said, you can use 134 phone trick, which Michael can drop. You can use Claimer if you want to pay a third-party service to send you a hold line. And I did a whole video exploring it and showing you how it works, etc. Or if you can't get through, contact your assembly member and they will be able to work with the EDD on your behalf. They have staff members in their offices specifically for this problem because they are receiving so many constituents in their districts with these problems. So Michael can drop that link again. All right. Vincent at 4:52. Hope I can watch this later and hear it did not bring in my Bluetooth headphones and plasma. Don't want okay. All right. Yes, there'll be a replay later. This will be located in the top bar on my channel homepage. Well, you're not here. You're not. You just told me you're not watching it, but it will be there. The replay will be there in the top of my channel homepage. Angelina at 4:53. If I ordered a new EDD debit card last Wednesday, will I get it sometime this week? It usually takes them between 7 and 10 business days in order for the debit card to arrive if you ordered a new one. So I would expect up to 2 weeks. You're very welcome. Try using Claimer. Yes, Michael can drop the Claimer link. It saves you $5 on your first call. Ginny has a discount link. Yes. Saves you $5 on your first call. And they recently changed their callback policy. If your call is dropped with Claimer, they give you up to 10 callbacks again to connect with EDD. But if you still don't connect, if you're dropped that many times as you're waiting on these hold lines, they will continue to connect you until you actually reach someone. All right. Beautiful day at 4:54. I'm a mixed earner and on PEUC. I count any work the week I worked. This okay for self-employed jobs? So if you are, no. So, well, sorry. This is a two-part question. You're PEUC and you're a mixed earner. How are you earning your income currently? And what is the income that you are certifying for? If you are certifying for self-employment income, then you must claim the payment the week in which the payment was received, regardless of when you perform the work. If you are receiving W-2 income and you're an employee, then you're going to report the income the week in which you did the work, regardless of when you received the payment. So they're opposite. So it depends what type of income you're receiving and when you receive it. All right. Kimberly at 4:54. I finally moved from pending to paid, $7,500. The bank didn't catch fraud, and my whole account was drained the day after the funds deposited. 300 plus transactions, all withdrawn, 6 hours in one day. I'm really sorry to hear that. So it sounds like you got your pending payments and then you had it drained. Is that what happened? I'm really sorry. I know this already happened for you, but for anyone else who is listening, don't keep money in your account with Bank of America EDD debit cards. Don't keep it there. Transfer it out immediately to your personal bank account because they're starting to roll out cards with chips now if you get a new card, but most likely your cards do not have chips in them. And people can use skimmers after you go to an ATM, a gas station, etc., and extract that data. So transfer it out right away. I would contact, Kimberly, your assembly member right away because the problem with these fraudulent charges is that Bank of America and EDD don't communicate well on resolving the issue together. They have to be able to resolve it on both EDD's end and Bank of America's end in order to get you back up and running. So contact your assembly member so that they are hopefully able to help advocate for you and work with both sides for you. Okay. Raul, you're very welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, scrolling down. All right, I already did that one. Okay, Sleeping 63 at 4:58. Hello there. I'm currently on Tier 2 augmentation and currently on 6 weeks pending. I don't mind waiting, but will the pending payments and for future pending payments, will they be guaranteed paid by September 30th? Okay, so if you meet the requirements of that 1 week on your unemployment claim being paid out previously, which you do, and being pending for over 2 weeks, then you should be paid out a conditional payment by September 30th. I really hope that they follow through with that. This is court-ordered settlement. It is a settlement agreement. So they agreed with the suing party, but the agency that sued them, the law firm, filed the class action suit. They did the class action suit and the settlement agreement filed the same day. Why is this important? Because if they just did the settlement agreement, then they wouldn't be able to really enforce it to the same extent that they can now that they have a class action suit filed. So the attorney explained it to me a little more in detail, which I don't need to go into that. But if they don't pay you out by that September 30th date, then the law firm can follow up with the judge because it's a court-ordered settlement. So they should pay you out by that date. And yes, that's the answer to that. Okay, I already did that one. Cynthia, 458. My husband is receiving UI, but his payments have been pending for 2 months and can't reach EDD. What can he do? He can contact his assembly member. Michael can drop the link. Click the link, locate the assembly member for your district, and contact them. They will be able to ask you for your social security number and customer account number, and you'll probably have to sign a form. Once you've done that, then they can discuss with the EDD your issues, and in most cases, they're able to fix pending issues. All right, Debbie Hall, clock behind me lingers with false time. Is it there just for your entertainment or not? It's there because when I started doing my channel, I was like, I have to set up a place where I can sit and film, and I took random stuff out of my garage and put it behind me so that it looked like more than a white wall. Yeah, so that's why it's there. It doesn't work. It doesn't keep the time. I think because the battery's dead. Okay. The podcast. Thank you. 247 play at 507. I wish I would have known that 1 week ago I had $300 mysteriously gone, but Bank of America sent my card with the chip. Okay, good. I'm glad you have a chip card. Don't keep any money in your Bank of America account still. I still will not keep any money in there. Always transfer it out, please, please. Tabitha Rose at 506. I've been approved and waiting for MEUC for almost 2 weeks. Is this long of a wait normal? It seems most others have been paid in 1 to 3 days. No, 1 to 3 days is not normal. Yes, most people are still waiting. I'm starting to hear reports of people that have been paid out. However, I would not expect it to come through for several weeks after being approved. They don't have a timeline, and I've asked the media department about this. They don't have a payout timeline, but most people that have reported seeing payments are very few. Some are starting to report them, but many are not. So still continue to wait. All right. Michael at 5 o'clock. My concern is, are we going to get paid for those who can't certify for a month after the payment end on September 4th? Why would you not be able to certify for a month? I'm not sure. Million Michael, why? Why would you not be able to certify for a month? Perhaps you mean you're on a certification cycle where you're not going to certify on the 5th. It'll be on the following week, which I think would be what, the 12th? If that's you, you're still going to certify for that clean week ending September 4th. It's still going to be in there. You're going to certify for it, and then you'll receive that payment. So regardless of when you certify, you're going to certify for that week at some point in time, and then you'll receive the payout for it. All right. Diana at 5 o'clock. My balance is at 0 on regular UI claim. Will it replenish, or is it done for since September is near approaching? So once you are at a $0 balance on a regular UI claim, about 1 week later, you're going to receive an award letter for a PEUC extension. A week after you receive that letter, you should then be able to certify and see your balance populate. You then will collect PEUC extension up until claim week ending September 4th. After that, if you're eligible for Fed Ed, then the EDD will then transfer you over to a Fed Ed extension for 1 remaining week. And you'll collect that up until Fed Ed ends, claim week ending September 11th. So that's the progression that you're going to see. All right. Let's see. Thanks for keeping service going. Congrats on another. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Michael Nelson at 502. Unemployment benefits does not count as earned income. Correct. It is income, but it is not earned income. I'm assuming that this is referring to a question that I probably missed earlier about maybe the California tax credit, et cetera. Unemployment benefits count as income, but but not earned income. So thank you for clarifying that. I guess I don't need to say anything else. All right, Laura at 502. My benefit year, January 2021. Now I'm on PEUC extension after September. Do I have to reapply, or do I continue to get paid until my year is over? Okay, so you're on a PEUC extension? No, you're not going to continue to get paid until your year is over. If your benefit year is going to end, January 2021 is when you started. It's going to end January 2022. PEUC, however, ends claim week ending September 4th. It's going to end. Next, you're going to then be eligible to collect 1 week of Fed Ed if you qualify, because Fed Ed continues until September 11th. After that, you will not have any benefits until you reach the end of your 1 year, your benefit year end date. At that point in time, if you worked within the last 18 months, then you can file a new UI claim and claim on that claim. But no, you will not collect past those end dates for Fed Ed and PUA. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're very welcome. Duck Norris at 504. Should I just cancel my current claim? I haven't received any payment despite 10 pending weeks and file a new one. No, you should get those pending pushed paid. Now, if you haven't received any payments at all on this claim, you are not eligible for the conditional payments that I've been talking about. You must have received one successful payment on your claim in order to qualify for those. You are stuck waiting on a new claim and those pending certifications. There's most likely some sort of a delay in your ID verification or in your fraud checks, address verification, etc. They might need to do a phone interview with you. That could be the cause for the delay. So I would contact EDD, because we're not sure what the reason is for the pending. If it's something that you can fix, you want to make sure you call in and fix it. You shouldn't be pending on a new claim for over 3 weeks. So this is unusual. Call into customer service, use all the call tips that Michael is dropping. The 134 trick, 25 phone numbers. If you want to pay for a hold line, use the claimer code, which is a discount code for your first call, or contact your assembly member. And they will be able to help to talk to the EDD on your behalf. Don't file a new claim. You already filed a new claim. They're already working on that one. So just keep at it with that one. Contact your assembly member or contact the EDD directly. All right, 504. Should I get a drink of this? Check over here. All right, 504 at Maria. I'm on PEUC and received all benefits on April, still says on extension. Went back to work for 5 months and laid off again. Can't certify till year end. Can I certify sooner? Okay, so if you're on PEUC, received all benefits in April, it says on extension, you went back to work for 5 months and now you're laid off again. Can't certify. Your claim would have gone inactive. If you have a dormant claim because you didn't certify for 30 days or longer, then you should see the reopen claim button on your UI online. If you see reopen claim, click that button, fill out the information, and within about 2 weeks, you then should be able to certify. Because your claim is inactive, you have to click that reopen claim button. So that should solve your problem, because as long as you're in your benefit year, then you should be able to still reopen that current claim. If you're not seeing the reopen claim button, then you will need to call into customer service in order to see why it is not there. JW Dasso, thank you. I really appreciate that. Beautiful day. Where does it say that self-employed work on PEUC is counted when paid? All income, that is wages or self-employment income, must be reported to the EDD. You have to report income to the EDD. Where does it say it? All over the website. I'm not going to point you to a specific thing because you have to report any income that you earn. You have to report your self-employment income. The end. Jay, before my question, I would like to thank you for this. You're very welcome. Thank you. So I filed a new claim. Will I receive a new card, or EDD will deposit it to my previous one? Okay. You filed a new claim. If your old card is over 3 years old, then you will receive a new card. If your old card is under 3 years old, then they will send the funds to your old card. All right, conditional payment. If denied down the line, I'll have to pay whatever amount back. Yes, that is correct. For those of you that receive conditional payments, who then have to have an eligibility interview or provide documentation, etc., you must comply with what they need and you must be eligible to receive benefits. So if you are receiving unemployment benefits, for example, and your employer submitted to the EDD that they terminated you for misconduct, you wouldn't be eligible to receive unemployment benefits. Well, if the EDD paid you out conditionally, they do that determination interview, they find that you are not eligible, then yes, you would have to pay that amount back. Now, there is a potential for an overpayment waiver to be applied for and have awarded to you to forgive those payments needing to be paid back. But in order to qualify for an overpayment waiver, you must have not committed fraud or submitted a false statement. The payment must have been issued to you and the mistake must have been made through no fault of your own, and it has to be a financial hardship for you to pay it back. Okay, let me see, what time is it? We are going to do like 8 minutes left before I'm all done for the day. Okay. Okay, I already did that one. Scrolling down. Scroll down too far. Oh, man. All right, I'm at 5:09. Alfred. Hi, Alfred. Thank you, Ginny, for your service. Wanted to check in and say hello. Hi, Alfred. I hope you're well. All right, you're very welcome. All right, the killer at 5:10. I used auto, I think you mean to say auto dial, was on hold for 3 hours, but finally got my 5 weeks of pending paid. I'm really glad to hear that. Out of the two, however, auto dial and claimer, I tested both, and I have a video where I tested both, and I didn't state a preference in that video because I was trying to have it be an objective, just here, watch them both work or fail. But out of the two, claimer costs less. Claimer is $15, and claimer gives you up to 10 callbacks if your call is dropped. Auto dial does not protect you from dropped calls unless they've changed their policy recently. They could have changed their policy to try to keep up with claimer. I'm not sure. But out of the two, claimer's customer service and their dropped calls to me, and the fact that it's $15 and not $30 is much, much more beneficial. Okay, Michael Nelson, 511. Why can't they just give me the remaining balance when PEUC ends September 4th? Okay, well, I wish that they could, but they can't. So the way that unemployment benefits work is that you are awarded a weekly benefit award amount. So let's say, for example, you're awarded a $400 per week weekly benefit award amount. They take that weekly benefit award amount and multiply it by the amount of weeks that you're awarded. So if you're awarded 13 weeks for a PEUC extension, they take your weekly amount times that number of weeks, and that's your claim balance. You are not entitled to that entire claim balance unless you are eligible to certify each week. If you're not eligible to certify each week because the program has ended, they can't continue to pay it out, unfortunately. So why can't they give it to you as a lump sum? Because that's a weekly benefit award amount. If they can't pay you more than 1 week in a week unless you're applying for backdated weeks. So unfortunately, that's not the case. All right, Angel at 511. I've been pending. After they released some money on July today, I only got 1 week out of the 2 weeks pending. Will I get the rest by September 30th? After the phone call, I already sent all the documents. As long as you qualify and those are eligible weeks, then yes, you should receive those additional weeks by September 30th. However, if your pending weeks are not actually eligible to be paid, then you're going to see them move to not paid. This would be the case if you were someone that had an old claim, it expired, and you had to file a new claim, were awarded a new claim. Those old pending certifications that were certified for after your claim expired are going to move to not paid because that claim was expired. In that case, you would need to apply to have your new claim backdated, either through Ask EDD or through calling customer service, because those old pending weeks are going to move to not paid. So as long as they're eligible weeks on a not expired claim, then yes, they should. Now, many of you are seeing conditional payments starting to be applied, and you're seeing this where you're seeing chunks of a few weeks here or there and gaps in payments. This could be because they are processing according to the type of claim you have, and maybe you transferred over to a different extension tier, etc. Or it could be due to the reason that you're pending. If you have different weeks that are pending for different reasons, then they might come through separately. All right, April at 5:11. Since COVID is rising again, do you believe or think an extension will be added? So I don't give personal belief on this because I feel like it clouds the judgment, and I don't want to, or clouds the facts, because I don't want to lead you guys on or be extremely negative just because of my own opinion. So you can go watch the clickbait channels and see what they tell you, because they like to lead you guys on and kind of inflate those headlines. But I will tell you that currently there is nothing proposed in Congress. There's nothing moving in Congress. President Biden issued a statement recently that was very vague. That was, I am open to it. And that was about the extent of it. So there's nothing moving right now, you guys. So all I have to report to you is our current status, which is that PUA, PEUC, $300 boost, and claim week ending September 4th. All right. Scrolling down. Did that. Okay, that's a duplicate question. 514, if I don't have the 2019 document they need, will that automatically deny me? Are you talking about for a PUA application and they're asking for your Schedule C? Are you talking about MEUC boost? If they need the documentation for your claim, for your entire application to prove your income, they will most likely reduce you down to the minimum of 167 on a PUA claim if you don't have the documentation. They can deny you altogether if you don't have it, because in order to qualify for government benefits, you technically would need to comply with paying taxes on that income, etc. But what is happening is that they're reducing you down to 167 in most cases. Now, if you're talking about MEUC boost and the documentation for that, yes, you will be denied that boost if you don't have the documentation. All right, 514. How long does PUA backdating requests take nowadays? Will I get an email? And does it matter if the format is 12/6/2020 instead of 06? So they do specify on that page that they want that format with the 2 numbers for the day. They're really glitchy. So if it does get rejected, it could be because of that. I really hope that it's not, though. But I can't say exactly. That's just what they specify online. How long does the backdating request take? It really varies. Some people get processed within 1 to 2 weeks, and some people take several months. So unfortunately, there's no set date. Will you get an email? Yes, you will get an email letting you know, and then you will certify for those weeks. All right, Rosalie at 514. Hi, Ginny. I wanted to ask if EDD calls to say you've been disqualified because I got a voicemail and she didn't say her name or my UI claim number. No, they don't call. That's one of the big problems, is that EDD doesn't communicate with you proactively. So I would not expect that to be an accurate call. They will call you if they need to do a phone interview. However, that phone interview time will usually pop up on your UI online dashboard. Sometimes, though, they don't populate that interview time and you do receive a call. If you receive a call, it should say State of California EDD or the EDD's phone number. But unfortunately, others have reported that their interview call has also been from a personal phone number. So I would check your claim status in UI Online. Go to UI Online and click on Transaction History and check and see if you have any payments that are noted as being disqualified or not paid. But it does not sound correct. So no, I don't trust that. Okay, let's see. Did that one? Whoa. There's a lot of emojis down there. Okay, did that one. Anime David. Okay, my PEUC ended and was automatically awarded for another PEUC extension. I certified Sunday, but until now, certification is pending. Is there any delay this month? So there are always lots of things that can get your account stuck in pending for a variety of different reasons. So there's not one specific thing this month that's getting you stuck in pending. It could be a new quarter wage review. However, most saw that happen, claim week ending 7/10. So because it's late, I don't think that that's why. But if you were automatically awarded another extension and certified, did you just receive the award letter, but you didn't see your claim balance go up? Then you would be still waiting for EDD to populate that claim balance in your account. So wait 1 week after that award letter if that's the case. If that's not the case, then I would contact EDD or contact your assembly member because you're still seeing a pending status. Okay. Okay. All right. 517. You were denied EDD for various reasons that are listed in great detail in this comment. Can you help me on this? So, well, if you had a disagreement with your boss, your reason for termination, if you're terminated wrongfully, if you disagree with it, and yes, I don't know if this person is being serious and actually wants us to answer it if they're trolling, but I'm going to answer it anyway. So if they disagree, you and your employer, with the reason for termination, you're going to have to provide documentation that backs that up in order to go through, most likely, an appeals process. Go through an appeals process, and if you're able to prove that you were wrongfully terminated, then you would be eligible. But sounds, my friend, like you maybe won't be eligible. All right. I forgot to certify for PUA. So I reopened my claim maybe 7 days ago. A few days ago, I checked and the claim seems to have disappeared. Did I get rejected? Just reapply. Does it tell you if it's rejected? Okay. So you forgot to certify for PUA. Reopened your claim. You checked, the claim disappeared. Reopen claim button has a problem. Reopen claim button should be there and should be clicked if you did not certify for 30 days or more. How long has it been since you certified? If you just forgot one certification cycle, that would not be long enough to warrant a reopen claim button. In that case, the reopen claim button is a glitch on your claim. It's a weird problem that has never been fixed and has been around for quite some time. So call customer service, tell them you have a reopen claim button and that you cannot certify, and they should be able to fix it over the phone, as long as that is true, that you didn't certify and it's under a period of 30 days. Okay, let's see, I got that. Scrolling down. All right. I'm going to do maybe 2 last questions. Bob Stewart at 519. Is there another avenue besides calling my assembly members that hasn't worked and still no EDD? Been 8 certifications. Okay, what happened when you contacted your assembly member? Bob, let me know in the chat down below. If you contacted your assembly member and they simply didn't reply, then call them. If you emailed them, and if you called them, well, then email them. If that didn't work, and if they're replying but they're just not being helpful, or maybe there's nothing that they can do, you can try contacting your state senator, which is available in the same link that Michael can share in the chat box. Beyond that, you're going to need to directly address the problems with the EDD themselves. So getting through the phone lines, you can use the 134 trick, the 25 phone numbers to call, or you can use Claimer, which sends you a hold line. And on that note, I see this note next. Enough on Claimer. I call and get through every time. I'm really glad you get through. That's great. I provided a lot of other resources that aren't Claimer, and I push really hard for contacting your assembly members. But as the comment above just stated, that didn't work for him, and that's kind of unlikely, but not that it's unlikely, but unusual, because usually they are quite helpful. But for those who do want to actually get through to customer service and they can't, and they have kept trying, many have positive feedbacks with Claimer. So I'm going to continue to share that. All right. 523. 3, I already did that one. Michael, goodbye. You're very welcome. Debbie, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. All right, Michelle at 5:25. I was pending since Sunday. Once I certified, it usually says paid on Tuesday. I reached out to my assembly member. She called, and within 2 hours today, she called me back, and now it says paid. I'm really glad to hear that. Angel, you're very welcome. All right, you guys, I'm going to take one last question down here before I am all done for the day. All right, Anita at 5:26. Hi, Ginny. I worked in 2020 and made $900. I did list that when I applied. They paid PUA, and now I'm scared to pay the money they paid me. Oh, what are we saying? Okay. If you worked in 2020, you made $900. You listed that when you applied. They paid you PUA. Maybe you're saying that you're scared to use the money that you've been awarded from PUA. As long as you listed everything properly on your PUA application, you listed your net income, not your gross income, but your net income, and you have documentation to back that up. So you have your Schedule C from your tax return from the year prior to being unemployed, then you're all set. And what they have awarded you is unemployment benefits, and you don't have to pay those back unless you submitted a false statement, you claimed your gross income instead of your net, or you don't have documentation. So yes, go ahead and spend it. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm all done for the day. I'll do another live stream on Friday at 4 o'clock. And if you did not get your question answered today because I get too many and I have to skip around, leave your questions on my most recent video, which I published like 30 minutes before this live stream, because I'll be replying to comments there later tonight. Okay, you guys, I will see you next time.